Hi, okay, here we go. Saturday afternoon version of Baseball and Coffee coming your way. A little bit of a hiccup this morning. Had to drive out here, out east. My daughter coming home from sleepaway camp today. Bus drops her off out pretty far out on Long Island. So we decided to all come out here. And my son, who's 2, he's not so easy in the car and with waiting. So I drove out early with him. Now I'm just waiting for the girls. So we're going to get this episode in now before the games start up today. And I thought this was a good opportunity to watch a little baseball in the afternoon here, which we don't usually get to do because usually I like to get it in the mornings. But today's a perfect day for a little afternoon baseball. So glad we have some people in the chat. And we're going to head right over to the main screen and get right into today's standings as we sit here. Let's just make sure that these are reloaded so I know what the heck I'm talking about. All right, a lot of people didn't play yesterday. Actually, a lot of people did play yesterday, Friday. Never mind. So all 3 American League East teams win, and it's the status quo right now in the division. American League East, 5 games up for the Jays, 6.5 on the Yanks. And that's that. Detroit now has re-extended their lead to 7.5 as Cleveland loses, and Detroit has now won 3 in a row. Houston, half game up on Seattle. Seattle had a nice comeback versus the Mets last night. Not nice if you're a Mets fan, but obviously nice for the Mariners. Phillies also won. So now they are 6 games up on the Metros coming into today. And Nolan McLean's debut, which is definitely something I'm going to want to tune in for. Milwaukee now 9 up on the Cubs. They've won 13 in a row. Today they're going for 14 in a row. Have a little bit of information on that. Where is it? The Brewers will attempt to win 14 straight games within a single season for the first time in franchise history today. They're currently tied with their 1987 club, which started 13-0. No team across MLB has won 14 in a row since 2022 Mariners. So this is a big day to kind of put their hot streak into a different stratosphere. And in the NL West, the Dodgers did beat the Padres last night in the first game of that series. So a good start to that series for the boys in blue. And now they are all even with San Diego as we head into this slate of games today on Saturday. In the wild card, there was a lot of teams that both lost yesterday or both won. So like in the National League, the Mets and the Reds both lost and the Cardinals both lost, so no change there. Half-game lead on Cincinnati, 3.5 on St. Louis for the Mets, and the Yankees now have a 1.5 lead on the Guardians. So that's it for the standings. And we're going to jump right into this guy, Christian Yelich. When I think about this guy, Yelich, I think about one of the biggest thorns in my side, one of the toughest matchups I ever had to deal with. His prime coincided with my prime, 2018, 2019. Those are his best 2 years, maybe 2017 as well. Let's see. Yeah, no, 2018, 2019. I mean, 1,000 OPS both year, MVP number 1 and MVP number 2. Second place finish in 2019. With the Rockies, we played the Brewers in the playoffs in 2018. He drew a key walk-off of me in my first appearance in the series that kind of led to a bunch of traffic, and eventually I give up a walk-off hit to Moustakas. But this guy was just a tough guy for me to get out. He was not chasing. He was on everything. He had a 2-strike approach, great at going the other way. And he's really the mainstay on this Brewers team that we all know is on the burner of all burners right now. And he had a really nice game yesterday. He was the top performer from yesterday's slate of games in this crazy comeback win that they had against Milwaukee. Now, at one point, it was 8-1 Milwaukee in this game. Mizorowski got off to a really tough start, and Milwaukee had to come back and chip away if they were going to keep their thing going. And I want to watch some of these Yelich at-bats because I think he uses the other field really, really well. So let's get into watching a little bit of Christian Yelich from last night. Cincinnati and the Brew Crew, the unstoppable Brew Crew. All right, well, so much happened in this game, but we cannot cover it all. I just want to watch the one and only Christian Yelich. So here's the first at-bat versus Martinez.
He joins us now. As Christian Yelich steps into the plate. Brandon,
First pitch cutter taking all the way, kind of backed up to the middle. Now, I will say right off the gate, Yelich is so good at staying inside the ball, and he's so conscious of trying to drive the ball up the middle that a lot of people attempt to hit this quadrant right here, this area. Feels like he won't get his hands extended, and that's where the fly ball comes. When you leak it out over here, he can actually backspin the ball the other way, which for a guy who is, I don't know, let's see what he's listed as. He is listed as 6'3", 203. I don't think he's 200 pounds. He's a skinny guy. But for a skinny dude, he packs a lot of punch the other way, and that's going to show up in this game. So first pitch take all the way, cutter called strike.
For granted, that's for sure, because it's a long season.
Curveball as they're interviewing Big Boo in this, so maybe we'll switch to center field cam for these pitches. I feel like that's a pretty good take on a pretty good pitch. This is a strike a long way. So already, nice take there. Now we're going to go change up. Definitely out in front of the changeup. Out and around that ball. And they're going to try a front door sinker attempt. But he leaks it back to the middle. Let's go to our broadcast cam so we can see this homer. This ball leaks back to the middle. And Yelich backspins it the other way with really good carries, because 42 degrees at 101.5 I don't believe is typically a dinger, but I think there's something in the way he backspins this ball, and this is something he's been doing for a really long time. So really quick, let's go check the expected numbers on that pitch. I mean, on that play. 8:15, Milwaukee. We want to go to exit velocity, chart options, reset options, search by Yelich. So the home run off Nick Martinez has a 160 expected batting average, right? 101.5 at 42 is generally a fly out, generally a deep fly out. But something about the backspin allowed that ball to carry a lot further than it's projected to carry, and it's in the Great American Launching Pad in Cincinnati. So first at bat, ball leaks back over the plate. Yelich makes him pay. And what I mean by leak back over the plate is it's kind of tough because, you know what, we'll go back to this center field camera. All right, so let's see for a sec. All right, so you see the target, right? The target is up in. The idea for this pitch is to start it in and catch him. I'm not sure 100% why they chose to throw this pitch after a changeup away. Like, this is sort of a similar shape. So this is not something I would have tried, but you're going to see where this ball actually ends up. He leaks it right more middle here. You know what? We should change the color on that so we can actually see that. Yeah, he leaks it a little more middle here, and that's all the difference. Ball's in the green, you get a fly out. Ball's in the blue, a guy who's really hot like Yelich can get the barrel to it and get it over 100 miles an hour, get up in the air, small ballpark. And we got ourselves a home run for Mr. Christian Yelich. Also did this using the Bob Uecker bat, which I find extremely cool and very baseball goddish. Like maybe he had a little angel on his shoulder in that situation. All right, so there's the first at bat. He homers on a front door sinker. Let's see how Martinez attacks him the second at bat. Yeah, gonna go with him right at him, up in target again. See, that's the spot that a lot of people are trying to get. Oh, and this play doesn't get made. Two good defenders, and this play doesn't get made. Kind of live a lob shot over the top. So again, this is the location that everybody's trying to get to on Yelich. This ball actually gets even further in, as you can see. It's in off the plate, so he's beat here. 62.5 at 53, but stays inside it, hits it the other way. And guess what? There's a lot of hits the other way. Ellie's pinched up the middle, can't quite get there. Ke'Bryan gets turned around, and he gets credit for a double. So 2 for 2, home run double, both to the other way, both to the opposite field at this time, not trying to pull anything. Third at bat versus Suter. This is a tough at bat. Suter works fast, has some weird shapes on his pitches, throws cross body. Used to be a Brewer. Very tricky. A lot of cutters and sinkers, so it kind of is playing the two-way game. We'll see how that pops up here. So 1-1 count. Here comes the 4. A little bit off the plate. Good take. Now the sinker in. Very good pitch. So his last pitch was a 4-seam that was running away. And then the next pitch, conversely, is a sinker that's running in. So he sees this ball pop on the inside corner. He fires at it, and it's in off the plate. So he gets handcuffed for a foul ball.
Man, it really
All
carried.
right, pitch 5.
367.
I was watching this live, actually.
Yelich
Suter thought he stuck him. He wanted it.
takes.
But it's a great call by the umpire. You know, you don't get to say that a lot, but this pitch is just a hair down. Yelich definitely trying to see him up here a little bit.
Yelich.
And they tried to sell it, but they didn't get it, and that led to a 3-2. And this was a huge, huge swing in this game.
Suter to the plate.
3-2 sinker in, gets it to the up and in quadrant, but again, Yelich is okay, getting beat. Finds a way to pull the hands to the barrel, shoots it the other way. And this game was tied at 8. The comeback was complete. Then they ended up coming back even further by taking the lead. So here's the swing, though. It's unbelievable how he clears out the hips, creating enough space for himself to stay inside this ball and slash it the other way. And I think this is a good approach. Looking at the high home, there's an awful lot of space. This whole gap right here, and then you got obviously where he hits it down the line. Whereas if you try to go pull side, I feel like this gap is a hair smaller, and this gap is certainly very small. You're going to have to hit it pretty hard to get it through there with these two guys. So Yelich does a good job realizing where his hits are at, and he sprays this ball down the line. Just sick hitting right there. Really frustrating if you're a pitcher, but that's just sick hitting right there. Let's watch it again from third base. That euchre bat, man. 3 for 3 now. 2 doubles and a homer. And Yelich is wearing him out all to the opposite field, showing you the power of the opposite field stroke. All right, 4th at bat. Scott Barlow. Big spin guy here.
Okay.
Taking all the way on the 4-seam middle down in.
You do not like to see this guy come into the plate if you're
Next
a
pitch.
Reds fan.
Up in.
A crack staff of research.
I was going to try for the sweeper.
Yelich.
Oh, going the other way again. Can he go 4 for 4 going the other way? Yes, he can. Hit this one a little better because of the launch angle, 31 degrees, 101 miles an hour.
5 RBIs.
Yeah, the ghost of euchre definitely helped him big time. He put a battery in his backpack tonight. But, I mean, Yelich just showing you that when he's really grooved, this is the swing. Catching the ball deep. Impossible to get a ball by him. Shooting it the other way with authority. 2 homers to the opposite field, 2 doubles to the opposite field. And he just took over this game. In the 5th at-bat, he's going to ground out. Let's see how they finally got him out, because I'm curious. Oh, they brought in a guy that throws a hundy. Look at the size of this man.
And again, if you're just joining us,
Oh. I wouldn't want to mess with this pitcher. Look at this guy's like the Terminator. Look at him.
I love that the
100. Yeah, we'll just throw 101. It just swings at a ball. All right, but 4 for 5. Heck of a day for Yelich. Heck of a day for the Brewers, coming back from 8-1 to win this ball game. They're 13th in a row, going for 14 today. You got to take this team seriously, folks. This team's really, really good. All right, so we got two of my buddies in the chat today, and let's see what we're talking about here. Went to the Jays game last night and was pretty impressed with the stadium. Really different vibe. I totally agree. And, you know, they renovated that stadium recently. It used to be a little more of a dungeon. Not to say that wasn't cool, but it wasn't very modern. And now they have that whole, like, outfield kind of built out really nice with the bullpens up in the crowd. Feels very modern. And, you know, Canadian fans are awesome. Hotel rooms inside the Rogers Center and the vibe. Yeah, the vibe in center field. Yeah, entire area with a live band. It's so cool. And it makes a big difference as a relief pitcher, too. Like, when you're out there in that bullpen. You're just surrounded by fans. You're getting heckled. There's a lot more interaction. You feel a lot more a part of it. In the old days, you used to kind of like hide under in the concourse underneath, and like the most you could hear is people stomping on the seats and stuff, making a whole bunch of noise. But now it's like a genuine, really cool experience. Yeah, no, I think they've done a nice job with it. Also, if the roof is open, it's a glorious experience too, because Toronto has some of the best summer weather in the major leagues. All right, so let's go back to the main screen. Let's figure out what we want to look at next. I have a lot of nasty pitchers that we could possibly look at. I think we should check this 9th inning from Chapman last night, because he's been looking incredible for the Red Sox. It's actually gotten to a crazy level. This might be his best season ever. I believe he's at almost a 1 flat ERA coming into this game. But I did pull up his numbers earlier, and right now he's got a .73 whip with a 1.16 ERA through 51 games. .73 whip. That would be better. And I looked at the major league leaders since 1969 for career whip. Career whip leader Koji Uehara, 0.83. I couldn't figure out how to quickly sort it by season. I know he had one season with like a .56 whip, which is probably an all-time record. But Chapman's pretty close to that. .73 whip, meaning it's walks plus hits per inning pitched. That's crazy for him. It just shows how much he's changed his game, how he's pounding the zone. And his stuff is still there to match. All right, so let's watch this ninth inning because he's ridiculous in this ninth inning. Just to get me over 97 with 20 vert. Now he's been another guy throttling four-seamers and sinkers, different breaks, making it really tough. And then this pitch is just devastation. Watch this. Oh, my God. 3-pitch punchy, destruction, 0 chance. He threw 2 pitches middle that he was late on. Look where this pitch pops. Basically middle, just a touchdown. And then watch it disappear. Bloop. Right below the zone. See you later. And it's a 3-pitch punchy. Just abusive. Abusive behavior but from Aroldis. All right, next batter. Tried to ambush, but it was too rich for his blood. 0-1. Splitter. 0-2, and I felt like we were on the way to immaculate inning. He doesn't throw one, but I felt like we were on the way. 0-2, going back to the split again. Guys just waving at that thing. They don't know what to do with it. 87-mile-an-hour ground balls do not cut it. And a quick 2 outs. And then this at-bat was actually kind of funny. He immediately gets right ahead of him again. I mean, you can see the ball's just grooved right in that lane right now. He is not missing. 0-2. Up top, see ya. And then he tried to get a little tricky here with a quick pitch. Watch this. I mean, it was funny. I'm actually curious to see if he smiles here because this is very chappy to do this. Yeah, I couldn't really see. All right, so there's that. Then he tries to doors him again. Good take by Dane, and then he finally goes to the split. And once again, split gets him way out front, acts like a changeup off the end, 70 miles an hour off the bat. Nice, easy peasy. And just another ho-hum inning. The whip goes lower, the ERA goes lower, the legend continues to grow. I'm really impressed with his ability to do this at the age 37. This is the best year he's ever had, which should not happen at this age. All right. Kind of love these City Connects, seeing the Sox on Tuesday. I mean, I love the green monster ones too. I think they're a lot better than the yellow ones that look like UCLA jerseys. Those Red Sox City Connects are dope though. That's 100% facts. All right, to the notes. Oh, I want to watch Joan Duran get hurt. I didn't see the play, so let's see if we can find it. Who were the Phillies playing yesterday? That's annoying. Hold on. They were playing Washington. I should have known that. I watched a little bit of that game. Phillies and Nats, and then Duran. So he gets hit with a ball here. Let's see what happens.
2 strikes.
Apparently the cart took 7 minutes to come get him off the field. Oh, he actually ran after this ball. And then he goes man down.
That is not good. Great at bat for Paul DeYoung.
Seems like a pretty sturdy guy to get hurt like this. Can we see anything from this angle? Off the bottom of the foot? Oh, maybe the instep. There's a chance that ball whacked him on the instep. But he runs after it. Only 94-1. I don't know. I'd be surprised if this ends up being a serious injury for Duran, but at the same time, he reacted very poorly after he initially ran. Oh, it gets him on that ankle on the side of it. Okay, yeah, that hurt. That definitely hurt a little bit. Probably got him right on the bone. All right, so now we know what happened at least. So Duran got whacked. He'll probably be okay. He's a big son of a bitch, but he'll be all right. I don't know. Maybe got him on the bone. That looked a little scary. All right, so I wanted to check up on that because I didn't really see what happened at it. Felt like you'd have to kill that guy, you know, to hurt him. All right. And then I want to check in on Cade Horton because I don't know if you guys knew this, but Cade Horton of the Cubs has been the best pitcher in the major leagues by ERA since the break. He's now down to a 3.07 in 15 starts. Four-seamer, sweeper, changeup, curveball, sinker, slider. What's working? Let's look. Everything except for the sweeper. Although the sweeper still has 40% whiff on it, but he's got 51% whiff on his changeup. That's really good. That is really, really good. And I watched a little bit of his debut. This is before I was streaming the show. And it's an extremely short arm action. Maybe we can watch a little bit of it. I'd be curious to see what his game logs look like. Watch a few batters. Yeah, so his recent game was against Cubs at Toronto on the 13th. Cubs at Toronto on the 13th. And it is Mr. Cade Horton, the rookie. All right, let's watch some strikeouts. So watch the short arm action, though. It's easy cheese, but very little bend, and actually the arm never kind of like, just kind of keeps it hiked up the whole time, which to me I think would be very uncomfortable, but I think it's allowing him to be on top of the ball extremely well, because this curveball has been incredible. Look at that. That's filth. So it's a four-seam and curveball tunnel, which is really nice. That's nasty. Nasty. All right, Alejandro Kirk. Let's watch this strikeout at bat. Here's the sweeper. A little more drop on the sweeper than most, and not as big of a movement, but I think it's a good early count weapon versus righties. Yep, gets to it with 0-2. He's probably going to go fastball. Triples up. Now you're going to go fastball, and it's 97. It's true. This is a ball, but this is a heck of a catch by Amaya. Bam. Bam. It's also 97 and not swing-outable. The down and away freeze is alive and well, folks. You just got to learn how to do it and when to time it up.
And he gets the call.
Let's watch this snatch by, hold on. Let's watch this snatch by Amaya from the side. Snap. Okay, nice freeze. All right, and then we're going to see a Varsho strikeout.
He's going to say, Jim, I need that call too.
Yeah.
Give me that one as a catcher.
Four-seam down and away.
120 at-bats. He's hitting a home run every 10 at-bats this year. Obviously small sample size.
Curveball down.
Shoulder surgery.
Is that in the past they've given him problems.
Four-seam up and in, and you can see that ball's got a little cut to it. Negative 1.2, yeah. That ball's biting left. So it's got decent lift, great velocity, and it bites a little left. Look at the trajectory of this ball. It never runs back. It actually comes in a little more. Varsho has to try to T-Rex his arms to get to it. This medium height to lefties is really a great height band. If you can throw a ball anywhere in here, they just can't extend their arms. If it's down low, you can drop the hands. If it's up high, you could maybe tomahawk a little bit. Not many guys would. But really, this medium height, you just have nowhere to go with your hands. So there's no damage to be done there if you get a guy to swing off the plate in that spot. That's what his fastball is going to be able to do with that type of action. So let's see how he gets. This is going to be a down and away paint. Oh, it's just up middle, but with freaking hair on it, and he gets him to swing under it. 97. This guy's impressive. He's got good shit. He really does. All right, Ernie Clement.
He missed the bunt side.
And remind you, this is a very good Blue Jay offense that's clicking right now. And he gets balled on that pitch. All right, here's a sinker. We haven't seen this yet.
Inside.
Pitches of this at bat.
It's a nice little runner. Nothing crazy. So he's got four-seam with true cut, though, and a sinker with decent fade. That's a deadly combination at 96. And that doesn't say anything about his curveball, which is absolute hammer. That's you know, they giveth and they taketh away. And then he goes with the up sweeper. So that's kind of like a strikeout that just sort of happened. He didn't really earn it. Will ABS make catcher framing less important? Not if they do the challenge system. If they do the full out, yeah, then it'll ruin everything. That's why I don't think they should do it. All right, Andres Jimenez.
Number 9 hitter again tonight is
Andres. Fastball up. He's probably going to be able to dominate with a fastball up in approach to lefties with the way that ball cuts in. Really nice changeup. Good separation, good difference in vertical break, everything.
That's the change.
All right, 3-2. He's going to go 98 here.
And Zach Neto, top of the order.
Boy,
And it looks like a slider. This is like a Brian Shaw cutter. This ball drops under the bat. So it's a little bit of a strange arsenal, which if you're going to be anything in baseball, be strange. Strange plays. All right, Addison Barger.
That ball get to or over the wall, but just
this guy's been really good for the Jays. Curveball bottom of the zone. So against lefties, it's going to be a lot of up in. You see the frame here, the location. Up at the four seam, and then the curveball off of that because it has enough break to stay in that same tunnel.
With what he's
up away ball.
1-2.
That time he didn't quite get on top of the curveball.
And the 2-2. Down and in.
Change up and see what he goes for 3-2.
Switch out of it,
sweeper.
To it.
So willing to throw every pitch type versus everybody.
Six
Man, that was nasty. He hadn't seen one of those yet. Look at that. It's a strike, 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 and then just bottom. And Barger's trying to murder a ball every time. I'd like to see him with a little bit of a two-strike approach there.
6 strikeouts.
Anonymous, any mouse? I don't know. It's an internal MLB app. It's not public. It's called Dugout. All right, Dalton Varsho. Let's just go to the strikeout pitch. This time it's going to be a changeup. Got it away. Perfect location. So it's a combination of kind of some weird stuff, a short arm action, which I think hides the ball really well, and then just some really good locations and good sequencing. So he's doing a lot, and I got to think that the Cubs, my guy's Tyler Zombro, who works over there, used to be at Tread Athletics. Maybe he's still at both, I don't know, but maybe he's helped Cade with his pitch mix, figuring out what to do because this shit is working. Look at this backdoor curveball. Bink. Goodbye. And that's the last strikeout. So let's go ahead and let's look at like a really good fastball from Cade Horton from the side. And this is like, just gets into an arm action discussion. Because in a way, there's less moving parts here. I talk a lot about simplifying everything that you do movement-wise in your techniques to create for as much efficiency as you can. Bigger moves create more opportunity for mistakes mechanically. And this is a very small move, as you can see. But I'm really focused in on this back arm. So he does everything pretty damn good with the lower half. But look at the arm. It literally never extends. It never flips over. It's already in place. So this is about as efficient of an arm action as you can have. Now, would it be comfortable for me? No. I needed to get into scap retraction. I needed to feel like I was pulled back with my backside of my shoulder before delivering the ball, and I don't think that's what this feels like. But at the end of the day, you're going to be able to really get your hand to that same spot that you want to get to for your release point over and over and over again with a delivery this efficient. And then he's got an excellent lead leg as well. If you watch this knee, we talked about this a lot, but check out the knee. Driving force up the chain through the phenomenon known as the lead leg block. So that's the delivery. It's a super simple arm action. I mean, typically, a guy's hand is gonna kind of come down and around, and his just stays locked in place. So I find that to be very interesting. But yeah, Cade Horton, man, he's been amazing. I think we needed to touch on that for a second. This is his most recent 5 starts. 5 2/3, no earned. 6 1/3, no earned. 5 innings, no earned. 5 2/3, no earned. 5 2/3, 1 earned. That'll do the trick. That'll do the trick. So very, very impressive start to the career for Cade Horton. This is a heck of a rookie year, and it's kind of under the radar because he did get off to somewhat of a slow start, and also just because the Cubs are just getting destroyed by the Brewers right now. But I wanted to check up on Cade Horton for a second. Let's see what else we have on the docket. We've looked at a few people. It's a Saturday. We don't have a ton to get into today. Last night there was a ton of pitchers. DeGrom threw really well. If I go to top performers here, we can maybe pick another guy to look at. So Brandon Young damn near threw a perfect game. For the Orioles. I was tracking that for a while. He ends up losing it 2 outs in the 8th on a play where, well, let me just watch it. I'll show you the play that kind of stopped the perfect game from happening, or at least the opportunity for the perfect game. Go all the way to the 8th. Now, mind you, he's perfect up until this moment. And then watch this play. Tapper, he goes to make the sick bare hand and just ultimately probably not his thing, defense. And I believe that's the wife there and the dad or somebody in the family, because they're pretty devastated that he doesn't have it still going. But yeah, he goes for the bare hand here. And he just to me, just looks like he doesn't quite get his feet square. He might have had more time than he thought. And that's how the perfect game is lost. And to have a perfect game, you got to have every single thing going your way. And you know what? He did for almost a full 8 innings. 7 2/3 perfect before this play. I'm sorry I'm not showing a lot of his awesome pitching quite yet, but that's what cost him. And then you know what? He was right there because he ends up punching out Taylor Trammell to end the 8th and keep his shutout and no-hitter intact, although not no-hitter because the other one was actually called a hit. But this kid was electric yesterday. He got a lot of quick outs, so there's not as much to break down. We can watch a few of his strikeouts. This is a really good curveball. He had it all working, and really just like his location was so dialed in. I even watched him fall behind 2-0, 3-0 on a few guys and just come roaring back with perfect pitches. Like whenever he needed to make a pitch, he did.
Here's a 1-2.
19 inches of vert on his fastball.
And there's 2.
So that plays up and in.
Here's a 1-2.
And mind you, this is not a guy who's had a ton of success this year, but he was in the freaking zone yesterday. Here's a Cam Smith strikeout on a curveball. He's got a really nice breaking ball. Right on right. You don't see a lot of guys going to the curveball right on right unless it's true plus. And then the whole point is just to drop the ball right there on the plate. This is so nice when you mean to throw it there. Catcher wants it there. Hitter swings at it. It's a beautifully executed moment on the mound. See this Ramon Urias. This is a split, so showing the full array of weapons. The down and in right on right changeup or split. We've talked about it. It's a cheat code. It looks like a fastball headed to right here. Guys fire at it. By the time they realize they are so far gone, because anytime you see a ball coming in pretty straight on the inner half, you just assume it's a fastball. You're definitely not thinking right on right split. But that's the type of game that Brandon Young was doing yesterday and how he was feeling it. And then we'll watch this last punchy, which is a Christian Walker.
Hitters, 84.3.
Doors. So a near, probably not a game that'll get remembered in baseball history, but he was 4 outs away and really one good play and 3 outs away from a perfect game. And he would have been one of only a handful of people to ever achieve that. So. I'm sad that he didn't get it because that would have been so cool. But at the same time, he threw a hell of a game, and that was pretty sick. So I think I'm just gonna cut it off short today. I got too much going on. I got people watching my kids. I got my daughter coming here any minute off the bus. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go right into the probables for today. The big game I'm excited about is that Nolan McLean debut. I'd love to see what this kid's got. The Mets kind of need him to be a savior. I think that's a little unfair for him, but I'd love to see him come out guns blazing today and kind of get some mojo behind the Metros. So we have Mike Burrows and Shota Imanaga starting here in a few minutes from Chicago, Pirates-Cubs. Corbin and Eric Lauer. Eric Lauer's been awesome for the Jays. We talked about him a little bit yesterday on the MLB stream. So 2 lefties, Rangers and Jays. And we got Taijuan Walker, Cade Cavalli, and Elise matchup, Phillies-Nats. Here it is, Mariners-Mets. Brian Wu, who pitched one hell of a game in Yankee Stadium. So he's shoved in New York City already in the very recent times, and he's facing Nolan McLean, Major League debut. Very excited to watch him. We'll probably break down his outing tomorrow. Cal Quantrill, Brian Bayo, Miami Marlins at Red Sox. Quinn Priester, Zach Littell. Priester going for the 14th consecutive win for the Brewers, and basically immortality in a regular season context versus Zach Littell, who's a new addition for the Reds, and the Reds they need to win too. They're trying to catch the Mets. Rico Garcia just got picked up. I believe he might have been with the Mets before. And Jason Alexander, Orioles Houston. Joey Wentz, Slade Ciccone, Braves Guards. Sean Burke, Michael Lorenzen, a.k.a. Biceps Man, White Sox Royals. Casey Mize, Zebby Matthews, Tigers Twins in an AL Central matchup. Really good matchup here. Max Fried, Sonny Gray tonight from Busch in St. Louis. So that should be a really fun one. Two awesome technician pitchers. A lot of breaking balls, a lot of moxie, a lot of everything going on. A lot of athleticism. So that's a fun matchup. Ryan Nelson, Chase Dolander, Diamondbacks Rockies. Dolander's kind of the the new hope for like the next great Rocky pitcher. So I've been keeping a little bit of an eye on him. Very, very talented guy out of University of Tennessee. Adrian Hauser and Justin Verlander. Two vets. Obviously, one's a super duper vet, and he's been pitching pretty well lately. So let's see how JV looks tonight versus the Rays at Oracle. And then a huge matchup here. Dylan Cease, Blake Snell. So two of the best strikeout pitchers in the game. Two guys that are tough to hit. Two guys that are trending well right now. Going head-to-head tonight, so that should be really great in the second game of that series. And then the last game is Tyler Anderson and Luis Morales, Angels and A's. So I'm most excited by this, obviously, this Dylan Cease, Blake Snell, Padres, Dodgers. Also really excited about Max Fried, Sonny Gray, and then definitely the most excited about Nolan McLean's Major League debut. Very excited to see what they have here for the Metros, and if he can be another one in the long line of really great Mets pitchers, particularly young pitchers over the years. DeGrom, Harvey, Syndergaard, going back to John Neese. A lot of guys. A lot of Mets have had a lot of really great young pitchers. The homegrown ones, obviously, Seaver, Kuzman, Nolan Ryan was there at the beginning. So it's a tradition with the Mets to have good young pitchers, and maybe Nolan McLean will be the next one. We will certainly find out, but. That's it. That was a quick little stream today. Don't have enough bandwidth to keep moving today. I have too much going on, but I'm happy I could get it in a little bit today. And thanks for everyone for joining me on Baseball and Coffee on the road. Today I have a freaking iced coffee from Golden Pear. It's nothing, no espresso or anything, but we're doing what we can, and I really appreciate everybody hanging with me and all the subscribers I've got recently. We're on the way up, and hopefully we continue that direction. And people will get in the chat because that's what makes this show special. It makes it really fun for me. So thanks again. I'll see you guys mañana.